Hello friends, it's Kiona Iba from Ragged Pages, and I have a super light junk journal flip through to show you. This was the journal I used for my junk journal July project, and I used it while I was out on the road, and then we continued being on the road, so I just have not had time to do a flip through. But it is finally finished, and it is mostly everything that I used and bought and whatever from July and a little bit of August. But anyway, finally getting a flip through. So anyway, I chose to use one of my books from the Memory Lane collection, which is, they're all basically the same layout. So it's a vintage book with this signature stitched through the back, eyelets to hold charms, and to hold a lace closure. And on this book I chose to use a couple metal corner pieces just to add some decoration. I added a couple extra things on here, like this old earring. My husband had bought me a set of earrings and I lost one pair, and I've looked for it for like a year and still haven't found it, so it ended up on my junk journal because I wanted to remember that. And then just some pretty pieces from old necklaces, a little vial with some homemade blue glitter in there, and also some beads from a bracelet that broke that my mom gave me, and it was just a really special thing to me, so I wanted to save that. Anyway, so I will just start giving you a flip through of stuff. So a junk journal, a lot of people have asked me, like, what do you put in there? A junk journal, there's no wrong way to use it. You just can put anything from your day-to-day life in there. You can write in it. You can put little bits of ephemera, little pretty pieces you buy, stickers. So I just wanted to give you an idea of how I use my junk journal, and hopefully that inspires you in your own. So these are some stickers from a pair of shoes that my husband bought me for our 2-year anniversary, and I love them. This was some devotions. I've just got some washi tape and pen on just a pretty piece of paper from a book that I used in the original junk journal. All of the Memory Lane books are aligned with this vintage wallpaper. Each one's a little different, but these are the colors I chose for mine. This journal is pretty full of photos because I accidentally deleted a bunch of photos on my laptop. And so I have gone into mass mayhem printing everything. So anyway, these are photos from us working in July down in Utah. And then just some pretty things that I got while I was down there. So I drank a lot of mint tea. I saved a little tab there. Chris took me out and got me a little Roxbury smoothie. I needed a new set of cards, and these were like on a super discount. So I saved one of these and cut it apart. I also drink a lot of ginger tea. So yeah, I mean, you can just save anything. It just goes to show no matter what is going on in your life, you can save little bits and pieces. So this is just from the Stockman Bank little calendars that they gave out at the beginning of the year. And since this was mostly my July calendar, I cut out that calendar and put that in there. This song was my favorite during July. I sing it all the time. This is the envelope for that set of cards I got, and it's got some personal journaling in there and a photo, so I'll leave that there. I went on a big hike up to Secret Lake in Utah, and this is part of the map, and I just wanted to save this for future hikes up in the area when we work down there again. This is part of the map. Since it also had August in there, I saved some of this. We ate at the Panda Express, and it was really nummy. And then this is more of the full route that I took to Secret Lake. So here's Secret Lake here, and this is the route I took, and just did some personal journaling there. More photos, more personal journaling, more devotions. I hurt my back, my back was just super sore from our work, and he took me to the chiropractor and got me icy hot and took me to a massage, and they had these candies in the front thing, and yeah, so it just goes to show you really can use anything in here. This was just a photo from the trip we came up. These are these really good ice cream candies, or ice cream like bars, I guess, that Chris's aunt had, and I loved them. Anyway, more bits and pieces. This is one of my favorite teas, black tea French vanilla. More photos. I accidentally rubbed mud on myself, and Chris told me to take a picture so that I'd know what I looked like. These were just from a really cool place we went. Photos on the wall and stuff. I love old vintage Coke and Pepsi stuff. This was from a drive I took up in the mountains near Salt Lake City. And this picture was just so pretty, I just saved it. This was the pipe we used on our job, and I just saved a piece of it to remember. This is Secret Lake, and I just spread it out. These shoes that Chris bought me. I saved a couple flowers from my hike up there. They were so pretty, and I just wanted to remember. I love having little bits and pieces from where I've been, so I wanted to save a little bit of each piece that I found up there. These used to be like little light pink flowers before they dried. And yellow, and then this is from the pine tree. Another fancy Japanese place we went. It was super delicious. Chris took me out on a date night, and we started with me getting a massage because my back was super sore, and it was really fancy and fun. And then he took me to Ross and got me a cute skirt and shirt, and then we went to the movies, and it was so wonderful. This was an original from when I made the junk journal out of a children's book, and it was so beautiful I didn't want to ruin it. More pictures, a little envelope I tipped in, which just means that you tape it on either side. Journaling, bits and pieces from the shoes Chris bought me. These crumble cookies are amazing. They're like this big around and about this thick and wonderful. My husband and father-in-law and aunt went golfing, and I did just a little bit of journaling about that. I am not a golfer, but maybe at some point I will learn to golf. Chris bought me some new gloves when mine wore out, and I guess bought me a 10-foot cable, USB cable. And more just pretty pictures, more photos. This was our drilling setup while we were down there. And this is an envelope I had stitched into the original. And I just stuck some extra photos in there of our drilling down there. It was just beautiful down there, like 110 degrees some days, just gorgeous. These are more cutouts from that same date night that we had. More hiking photos, cutouts from an outdoor floral how-to book. More journaling photos. I just backed these back to back to make it a bigger space or whatever. This was a funny sign. I was supposed to be looking for explosives on this hike, and that just seemed bizarre to me, so I wanted to remember that. This was a wedding, whatever you call it, not the announcement, but anyway, it was for some friends of ours' wedding, and it's so pretty with this watercolor floral stuff around the outside. And this was an advertisement that I love the color scheme for it. And these are just tipped in, which means they're just added after I made the original junk journal. This is just a pretty envelope, and I stuck it full of cards and little notes and stuff from people. These are 2 more little notes from my pen pal, a business card, and some packaging that I saved from a gift. These are just a bunch of cutouts. We bought a new house last year, and we have been doing lots of outdoor weeding, gardening, planting stuff, so this was just kind of a nod to that. We went to this fancy place called the Black Bear Diner, and we loved it. There's a lot of bang for your buck, by the way, and it was printed on newspaper paper, and it had clippings from 1974, which was really cool. So I wanted to remember that. More personal journaling. I made a little bag into an envelope and taped it on there. Made a little tag with some personal journaling. This is a paint chip I just repurposed. A really pretty flower I pressed and dried in there. Everybody loves Moscato. My brother came down to Salt Lake City and we went to the zoo and a movie, which was really fun. Chris and I went to Fratelli for some Italian food. And there's just more personal journaling. This is a children's photo that just kind of represented how much food we were eating down there, because we worked so hard all day, and we don't eat much, because we're busy. And then for supper, we just like pig out. We are starving. So how that kind of fit that. And then at this point in the month, I was ready to get home and see our cat and see our house and whatever. So these little children's photos fit my feelings at the time, where I just wanted to get home and see Piper. And then this is the very last page. This is again from that floral book, and I made it into a little envelope. This is from a quilt that my grandma made me, and this little flower fell off. And then some little bits and pieces that were going on for the rest of the year. So anyway, this is my junk journal. I hope you enjoyed looking through here, and it gives you some ideas of how to fill your own junk journal someday. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. I will be back with more videos soon. Hope you guys are doing well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.